channel, share, subscribe, like this video. Make sure you put your prayer request in the bottom. As we're all sitting here waiting, we're in Saturday, so I don't think anything that we're going to see with Iran and Israel in the United States is going to be this weekend. I do believe it'll be on a Friday, so that puts us right about the 28th. That would be next week. That could be when we see it all go into it. See if that is on. No, it'd be the 27th into the 28th. So 27th is Friday. Still yet, you could see something this week. Pay attention. This week, definitely pay attention because they still, remember, they're turning parking lots into hospitals and everything else, and they're already telling everybody there's a mass casualty event in all these countries. So be expecting anything this week. Now, here's one. Now, this would probably go undetected, but that's why God has me here to look for these things, and God brings them to my attention. Now, listen to this. Now, Trump officially, in an executive order, and this would have went, like I said, with everything else, this stuff just goes unnoticed, to put, I think it's glyphosate, common ingredients of pesticides and herbicides in Roundup in a protected status. Now, that's not for me and you. That's coming later. At the same time, Congress is pushing through a bill to give herbicide, pesticide manufacturers full legal immunity, just like the vaccines. What world am I living in? So this is already heavily saturated in our grain-related food and well-known things that we eat, like bread, stuff like that. This gives them the legal right to poison them. Now, listen, this is World Economic Forum, people. Now, you might say, I'm telling you right now, people, it's the proof's in the pudding who this guy works for. And they're putting it together. There's more of it. So, like I said, that stuff would have went unnoticed. But here's another one. And like I said, the people that are not awake, it's just going right over their head. Trump family says the U.S. dollar needs an upgrade. We already told you that. That's been their plan from the time he come in. To private cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. Remember, that's already passed. That went in at midnight that one night. That's the banks, that system's there, laying in wait. Still believe these guys were sent by God. Now, God let them get in, but it was for another reason, not the reason everybody thinks. Yeah, they're going to bring on a golden age. What is the golden age? Well, if you do your research, the golden age that he's talking about is when the old gods will be back upon the earth. That's what he's talking about. The golden age of America is bringing these old gods back up to here. That's what that is, people. Like I said, if you do your research and you look into it, you find out the truth. The problem is people don't want to know the truth today. Since the dollar was created in 1792, the U.S. presidents and their family were generally been content with the status quo of giving the national government a monopoly on issuing currency and outlawing the use of foreign currency. Considered the launch of the dollar, the country's initial coin offering back to the United States government was hustling to surpass the dominance of the Spanish pieces of 8, then in common circulation throughout the country. When presidents have said something about the dollar itself, it's generally to reiterate the U.S. government's strong dollar policy. But remember, the people they work for, the dollar's got to go because they got to control it, and that's the Antichrist coming up on the earth. This right here is 100% telling you what's about to happen. That continued more than less than through 46 presidencies until last March, which is when we started screaming to the top of our lungs, be ready to leave. When a company partly owned by Donald Trump and his family began to market the alternative to the dollar, the cryptocurrency dubbed USDI. Now remember, they paraded and lied to the American people that, listen, we're against this digital currency. While secretly, they were stabbing everybody in the back. That's exactly what they was doing. These people lie, people, and they're getting away with it. But the thing is, we're about to leave, and then God's going to deal with them personally. On Wednesday, the president's two oldest sons told CNBC on the sidelines of day-long crypto event they hosted why they think that there should be a change. Now, remember, these people, no, we're against all that. As I showed you, these people all on both sides of the tickets, they work for someone else, and it's not Jesus. The value of the USDI, which is marketed as a stable coin, they want to get away. We don't want to put that digital dollar out there yet, because remember, they don't want everybody to rebel. Would track the dollar, much as the dollar when it was created in 1792. This is pure Bible prophecy and the mark of the beast. Was initially pegged to the value of then the dominant Spanish silver dollar. The Trump's company, World Liberty Financial, touts USDI as an improvement on the official U.S. currency. Remember now, they passed that big beautiful bill, and that's what went in. Everybody's like, oh no, it's fake, it's not real. Oh, it's real, and your bank it's in there, it's set. Why everybody was sleeping on this, calling it AI, it's not real. Once again, they snuck it right underneath them. Boy, they're going to get a shock and awe when the day of the rapture happens, and that stuff is already set up and goes right into effect. On Wednesday, the firm held the World Liberty Forum at Mar-a-Lago, the club owned by the president and operated as his winter White House. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, the mark of the beast is getting ready to roll out. Once we leave, it's all been set, and bam, it will go. But it's all been, they're moving at speeds I can't even understand. I mean, in 1 year, he started building these concentration camps all over the United States. He put nuclear bombs back into full production while nobody was looking. He passed all these things about going completely digital all over the United States where they could control what you buy or sell. All that, and everybody's still clapping him on. Oh, he's brought by God. I'm telling you, these poor people, God help them. That's all I can say. All right, so the Houthis mobilized troops in Yemen with unclear target as possible strike on Iran looms. So here comes those Houthi and the blowfish again. Recent intelligence suggests the Houthis in Yemen may be mobilizing, so they're getting their sandals ready, for a new offensive. According to the February 21st dispatch, the UAE-based media outlet Al Ain, the Iran-aligned group is deploying military reinforcements across multiple fronts, raising concern about a potential startup for the country's long-running war. Sources cited that the Houthis militias are moving reinforcements towards the oil-rich part of the country's strategic Red Sea port of Hodeidah. Additionally, forces are reportedly advancing towards Yemen's northern border, so they're definitely getting ready to start targeting everything there in the Red Sea again. The report provides specific operational details, noting that Saturday, substantial Houthis military units departed from the city of Amman, located roughly 50 kilometers north of the capital. Now, this specific development is reportedly being led by the Houthis commander. The timing of this is reported mobilization is critical, occurring against a backdrop of complex regional friction. The maneuvers could be calculated more to exploit recent policy divisions between Saudi Arabia and the United Emirates. Now, while historically backed by international recognized Yemeni government, Abu Dhabi has thrown in his support behind the Southern Transitional Council in the south, bringing the two Gulf allies dangerously close to a clash. Furthermore, these troop movements coincide with escalating tensions between the United States and Iran, suggesting that the Houthis might be positioning themselves to strike the broader regional hostilities grow. Despite the detailed operational claims, analysts urge caution. The ultimate strategic objectives of the Houthis remain, well, nobody knows. Nobody knows what those darn blowfish are getting ready to do. What we see today is more and more hospitals and everything being set up under garages there. It's either in Iran or in Israel. Israel highly believes very soon that this thing will become an all-out war. Not just an all-out war. See, people believe that this thing is going to be one and done, and that's not what Trump has said in there. Listen, they're going for a bigger thing here. This is one big ritual, what they're trying to do. And this is to bring on the Antichrist. Now, people can believe that all you want, but the Stein files tell us that everything they do is a ritual. Everything set up from Super Bowls to everything is all about rituals to them. See, while you're all watching all that and taking it in, that's what they're doing. and it's all set up. Let me tell you something. The biggest thing, the biggest mistake we ever made, all of us, was those boxes that we have in every one of our homes, because them things has brainwashed society till there's no end. And they have literally got people. You're talking about the new Roman Empire? America's it. If you go back and trace everything that we do today, from football to everything, goes all the way back to the Roman Empire. And what they used to do in those Colosseums by killing Christians and everything, let me tell you something. We've just upgraded it and put it on TV. When you really start to wake up and know what's truly happening around the world, and you don't live in, stupid bliss like most people, you realize that, oh my gosh, we've been duped for a long time. These people had a whole thing set up. When God started waking me up to knowing what these people are truly about to do, this thing with Iran and Israel is way much bigger than what anybody can contemplate, okay? What they're getting ready to do is open up a portal of portals, okay? This is a place in the Middle East. It's biblical. It's a lot of energy around that area. And you got to remember, we're not fighting against flesh and blood. And these people are taking their orders from these things that ain't flesh and blood. These are principalities, fallen angels. That's who's rigging all this stuff up. That's what we're seeing here. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no presidents, none of that stuff. Kings, queens, they all take their orders from these things. Just like they did in the days of Noah. They're doing it again. These are the things that they're laying out. Everything, just like this cryptocurrency, digital dollar, it's all setting up the mark of the beast, every bit of it. And you're finding, if you just watch, you're seeing who's part of it and who's setting it up and who is not part of God's army. But people don't want to see it. See, the world doesn't, right now, Satan has control over the world. The Bible tells us that. Right now, he has dominion over it. The people that want to stay here and fix it, they're wanting to fix Satan's world, not God's world. Remember, God has let it go. Satan has control over it. If you study scripture, so you know the thing they're fighting over is Satan's world. Okay, they want to stay here in Satan's domain. Okay, that's why I said the Bible says don't be of this world. You don't want to be here because this world belongs to Satan until Jesus takes it back. They don't teach that in church anymore. How convenient is that? You can trace that all the way back, probably about 200 years ago, when the Jesuits and all them started infiltrating the churches and taking away that doctrine. Oh yeah, church has been purposely keeping that stuff out of there. It was all rigged. Satan's got his little grody hands in everything. But see, those who study and make yourself aware of what's truly happening, knowing that everything we see is a lie, you start to wake up to it. And you start to see all the lies that we've been told from the time we was in kindergarten. Let me tell you something. This is way bigger than what anybody can comprehend. And when you do finally figure it out, you'll throw up what's really been going on around the world, because it's nothing of what you've been taught, what the media tells you. It's all lies to cover up Satan's takeover of this whole world. And he wants to take as many people with hell with him. That's what his goal is. See, Jesus, in the time of the rapture, we go up. Then there's the 7-year tribulation, which was judgment upon the non-believers and the ones rigging and running this world. That's your elites, which, like I said, half of them is probably not even human. They're fallen angels. And they worship these things. And there's no jail time. It's just like this. Remember I told you about this prince that they just arrested? Well, he's already out. Okay. As I said, nothing's ever going to happen to these people because they run the world. They run you, they run me, they run everything. Only Jesus can bring them down. That's why God's revealing that to the world, that only he can bring these people down. But people still ain't seen it. They believe that, oh yeah, we're revealing these false so we can arrest them. I'm like, oh, you poor people. Love your hearts. That's never going to happen. That's why Jesus was revealing it. So you know only he can bring it down, but people still oblivious to what's happening. There's never going to be an arrest. That stuff ain't going to happen. They're already telling you, forget about it. We ain't going to do it. These are Trump's buddies. So, I mean, like I said, they're all part of the same team. If it was just Democrats, Trump would have just thrown that out on a silver platter to everybody. Oh, let's go after them. But of course not, because it's all of them. They can't. Same thing with Joe Biden when he was in. Yeah, he could have done it too, but see, they can't because they're all in on it. And they all are laughing at all of us because they want you to know there's nothing you can do. They want you to know there's no law for them. They want it, and they're throwing it in your face, and people still ain't getting it. But Jesus is about to deal with this. Once again, that's why I'm here, to let you know the rapture of the church is about to happen. You can believe it or not, but it's coming. And then they are going to be dealt with. That's why God's revealing what evil runs the world. Do you still want to be part of it, or you want to leave? The rest is up to you. God's revealed to you who's running it, what they're doing. People still ignoring it. Right now, people, you got to choose sides. It's good or evil. It's one or the other. There's no middle ground. There is no waiting room. You either choose a side. And people don't want to pick a side, and I'm sorry, you're going to have to. Because very soon the rapture is going to happen, and you don't want to be left here. God has revealed that these people that run the world, they serve Satan. They make sacrifices to Baal and Moloch. They're all doing it. And the choice is yours, which side you're going to choose. Do you want to stay here with them, or you want to go home? This is not your home. This place does, like I said, God has no control over this place right now. It's been forfeited to Satan until that time. Then the 7-year tribulation, then Jesus will come here and rule for 1,000 years upon this earth. Okay? That's how this is going to go, people. It's already been written. There's no changing it. What comes next is the rapture of the church. Either you want to stay here in a world that lies to you about everything that you think you know about it, or you go home where you're supposed to be with Jesus, where there's no more lies. You're shown everything. It's not hidden from you. See, right now, the lies that you're living in is to prove to the world, to show the world in their way that there is no God. That's what they've been trying to prove, because they want to take as many people to hell with them. They already know where they're going. They already know they lost the war. So they want to drag as many of God's people because they know God loves his children. So their goal is to drag as many people with them as possible. That's the goal, people. That's what this all is. When you go to work, that's what's really happening out there. When you pay your bills, that's what's really going on. It's a battle for your soul. See, the world out there is all fake. It's not real. What's real is the world is supernatural. There's heaven and there's hell. Which side do you go? That's what's happening out there. Every time you go to the park, you go to Walmart, there's a fight over your soul. You can't see it, but it's happening. And very soon the world is going to see it. When the rapture of the church takes place, we're gone. They're going to truly know what we've been saying is the truth. That's when the world is going to, a lot of them is going to die of heart attacks because they can't believe what we told them was the truth. Because right now they believe it's fairy tale, it's not real, because they believe what the world's taught them through TV, through Hollywood, through school, that there is no God. That's what all of that was for, was to teach you that there's no God, so they can drag as many of you to hell as possible. That's what's happening, people. If you don't believe me, ask God. He'll show you himself, if you truly want to know. But let me tell you something. Once God shows you what's really happening out there and what's real and ain't, you can't go back. It's kind of like that movie, The Matrix. Take this pill, you'll be awake, or you stay asleep. But if you truly want to know about the rapture, if you're lost and you want to truly know what's going out there, he'll reveal it to you. But once you wake up, honey, there's no going back. You will never look at the world the same again. Once you find out the truth, you can't watch movies anymore. Any of that stuff, it's gone. All that. You have no enjoyment going to Walmart, going to vacations. All that's gone. When you truly realize what's happening around the world, you know we got to get out of here. That's the truth, people. Because once you wake up to know what's truly happening around this planet, that evil runs this planet and what they're doing to all these people and these children around the world, and they're doing it and making fun of everybody while they're doing it, you know we got to go. Trust the gospel. 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4. Jesus died on the cross for our sins, past, present, and future. He died, was buried, rose again on the third day, according to the scriptures. Trust in Jesus and Jesus alone. Confirm everything through him, ladies and gentlemen. And with everything we're looking at, from cryptocurrency, all these things happening in unison, along with the UFO talk, that's all over the news right now through every channel. Everything we warned you about is here. Now, the choice is yours. The rapture will happen anytime now. Brother John and Brother Ronnie did a great job there at Watchman for that great day talking about this today. You want to go over and watch that video, because what they're talking about, you're in it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in Daniel. Exactly where Daniel saw, we're there. The world's about to be judged. Jacob's trouble will begin at any time. That's why we see all these things, all these wars and rumors of wars, them scheming behind the curtains about bringing this digital currency, which is the mark of the beast, how they control what you buy or sell. Once the dollar's gone, that's gone. See, the dollar you can't trace. That's why I told you the devil cannot allow the dollar to go forth. It's got to be ended. That's what you're seeing being put in place right now with this war that's brewing between Russia and all these things. That's part of the Great Reset. It will all end the dollar. That's what they want. Trump was brought in to end the dollar, and that's exactly why his family's talking about it. All this, they're working in unison for one goal, bringing in the Antichrist upon the earth. That's the new golden age, people. See, in golden age, and the pagans, they believe there's a golden age. That's why Trump speaks about the golden age all the time, okay? Because literally, the golden age is when all the old gods are on the earth with humans again, just like it was in the days of Noah. That's what they're trying to do. How do you do that? Well, I do believe they have one big ritual that they're getting ready to happen, and I believe it's with nukes. This is part of it. And when they do that, that will open up the gates of hell, and that stuff will be back here, but we will be gone. It's all setting it up, ladies and gentlemen. That's their goal. That's who they want to bring upon the earth. And they're doing it right now under everybody's nose, and they're laughing at the world while they're doing it. Do not fall asleep here, people. These people are evil, and they have one goal, and that is what I just told you. To bring the old gods back onto the earth, and they want to live with them as gods themselves. The man today is doing exactly what he did in the days of Noah. They believe that they are gods themselves. We are not gods. But that's what they believe. If you hear these people talk, it don't matter if you believe it. They believe it. And they believe that they can bring this new Messiah up on the earth. And I've heard many of them talking about it, all the way down to the unconverted Jews. They're talking about bringing their new Messiah in, which is the Antichrist. And like I said, what is the tribulation? That's Jacob's trouble. That's Israel's in a lot of trouble. And you can already see that happening right now. And the unbelievers that believe that they can live forever, you hear them talk about this all the time. This is exactly like it was in the days of Noah. Now, God's revealed it to everybody. What you do with it, the rest of it, because God has let you know, just like he said in the days of Noah, and then it will be destroyed again, this time by fire. So he's let you know what's coming. They're already dividing Israel's land up in parcels. And he's already told you what happens to those nations now that they're doing it. And Trump is already doing it. So you know what's coming to America and all the countries involved. I don't have to tell you. It's right there in Scripture. I love each and every one of you. If I don't see or hear from you again, I'll see you at home.